because I don't believe that Israelis had even marginal impact.
Okay, that part I didn't cite directly, but the Arabs definitely supported West Pakistan, and that's in the chat.
Of course, because they're Muslims. Yes, we get that.
No, but Bangladesh is also Muslim. That's the thing.
Yeah, we know that.
Why do you think
he was just trying to remove Israel from the equation? The word Israel is very triggering to people. He just picked that conflict.
I know,
another country.
But Arabs are not the Arab as a word. Basically, if you're talking about Kissinger and Golda Meir, like I think Kissinger was depicted in that movie with Golda Meir. You know, like I mean, Kissinger is a very important figure in wasn't there a war with Egypt, like a very quick war. Like that was in the movie. Like basically, Kissinger had to step in. Like you can understand a lot of U.S.
6-Day War. There was the Yom Kippur War.
No, is he talking about 50 War? That was with Iraq.
No, we're talking about
Golda Meir. That's the Yom Kippur War.
Yeah, that movie was literally. I watched it with my mom, like because at first I watched the Munich Olympics movie with her because I wanted her to understand why the Paris thing was going to be really crazy. But then I watched.
Are you taking us somewhere?
Yeah.
No, I just said I wanted to help with Bangladesh because.
Okay, it was just pulled at random to remove the word Israeli and Palestinian. That's all. It was just a thought exercise.
Oh no! I like thought experiments. That's my time.
Welcome to the stage. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon. Shalom Aleichem.
I like the Hasidic accent in that one.
Hey, Ishmael.
Nice.
Did you change your microphone? You're sounding like perfect.
I've
never heard your voice like this.
I took away my headphones, but I'm going back to my desk and I have to put them back in.
No.
I love this because you're actually louder than Simon normally is.
Simon is the quietest person. He was whispering.
No, but you guys had a range to see who's quieter.
I can hear notes of your voice that I have never heard.
I agree.
Yeah, it's weird.
Simon, if your girlfriend's back, is that you're still talking at the elevated level? What happened?
No. I'm talking at a normal level now. I mean, right now my dog's going nuts with the dog trainer downstairs.
I need to get a
Have
dog.
we come to a conclusion, AP, or you still want to debate this?
Sorry, I'm just making coffee. Just means.
Enjoy your coffee.
I don't know how people drink coffee. That shit
Yeah.
horrible.
So is this room specifically about war crimes in Israel?
That was a tangent. It started
Also
out
in Yemen.
the DNC convention discussion.
Wherever Israel is,
Yeah.
like Yemen.
Topic, you can get communist Kamal.
A quick question for the room.
Kamala Harris.
A quick question for the room. If you have 18-foot statues of IUDs, is that a war crime?
18-foot statues of
IUDs
IUDs or IUDs?
Intrauterine devices.
Look at the DNC. Okay, I'm going to post it.
Yeah, please. I have no idea what you're talking about.
In Gaza, they have statues of rockets, but they don't have statues of IEDs.
Oh, IEDs, not IUDs. IEDs.
No, I think he meant IUDs. I think there's protesters wanting, birth control devices.
I know. I was making an IED joke.
Yeah, no, I
You're not supposed to make jokes, Ishmael.
Ishmael,
Yeah, we don't have foundation here.
Ishmael, can I ask why you're named Ishmael? Because I think in Hebrew, Shema means to listen or to obey. Like, it's a very interesting word.
Andrew, do you need to make everything boring?
I'm sorry.
Tell us what you really think, Yusuf.
I'm being very honest today.
Yeah, I know. That's what I like about it.
Yeah, she's saying the quiet part out loud.
You should say what everyone else is thinking.
Israeli.
Ishmael is also a good
Okay,
nickname
post
for
it in
me.
the chat, the DNC statues.
Ishmael is also a good nickname for me because
Holy cow.
I have this genetic ability to hear very well. And it's a very rare gene. So Shema, if you mean just to hear,
Try to listen.
Just work on it. It's called
Yeah, work
cognitive
on it, like
behavioral
practice.
therapy.
Yeah, and
practice
Ishmael means God will listen.
Well,
But
but
practice
wait,
it on
is
Are you
this
thinker God?
the T thing that we women put as a
Yes, to
contraceptive?
put up your uterus.
It's an IUD, it's a contraception.
I still don't understand how it works.
Beautiful.
Explain to me 1,000 times. I don't.
Certain things there that, well, I don't know.
No,
Okay.
there's two. There's a and women that don't want any hormones, it's just a metal spring, and as the fertilized egg passes through the fallopian tubes into where it would be embedded in the uterus wall and turn into a baby, it chops it up into pieces.
I think it's really far up there. So
It's really far up there. Yeah, it's surgically entered. Well, it's not a major surgery.
Myra,
That's
how
on
many kids do you have? Is it true you have 10 kids?
the- No.
9.
But-
So my mom is an OBGYN.
He doesn't have 10, he has 9.
How many kids do you have?
I have 9 kids. They're probably
Really?
10 kids that I didn't know was 9
There's
kids.
no fucking way.
Really? You have 9 kids?
Name their names in 4 seconds.
I think that's
Hold on, no, this is the
beautiful,
best
honestly. I think that's amazing. That's being very
Can I guess
I
the
think
names
they're
of your
happy,
children?
lucky,
Can I guess?
healthy.
I'd love
Is
this
one of
game.
them?
I'm not
No, we're not making
myself
fun of
on the
marriage.
Is
phone.
one named the best?
Yes.
Okay, hold
I
on.
wanna
So
know
you're
the
not
names.
trolling us. You actually have 9 kids.
He can name them in 5 seconds.
Hold on. Let him answer.
I have 9 children.
I want to know if one of
Oh,
them is
that's
named.
crazy.
How many are Mendel? How many Mendels do you have?
How many what?
Someone would have multiple.
How many of your children are named Mendel?
0.
0. I'm going with 0.
Do you have a Joab there?
No.
A giraffe? Does he have a giraffe?
You have a Benjamin, Benjamin.
No, you guys aren't doing well. No Benjamin.
Daniel, Ariel,
Sarah,
Michael. Daniel, Ariel o Michael.
Sarah, Rebecca,
Mayor.
Rachel, Jacob,
Daniel, Michael o Ariel.
Elias,
Can't hear Daniel.
Elias,
Levi,
No, Daniel, Michael o Ariel.
Rachel,
Sarah, Rachel, Rachel, Leah.
Avi,
Rachel and Leia.
Isabel.
Oh.
You did pretty good. 50%.
Isabel.
It's
No,
Jacob.
that's not a Jewish name.
Eden,
Done.
Eden, it's in Hebrew.
Aiden.
Eden, yeah.
No, not Aiden. Eden.
No, Edo is the Yiddish name. Daniel. I don't have any.
No, no, Eden. Eden.
names be using around too.
He said Daniel. Edo is a German word, right?
My daughter,
James.
my daughter is
I don't think you can hear me.
My daughter is Hannah.
Do you
Edo
have?
is a Hebrew word. Edo is Yiddish, but Edo is a German word.
Adel.
Michael,
No, but there is a Jewish name Edo, but it's Yiddish. It's not Hebrew.
Oh.
Debe ser Adel, no? Debe ser Adel.
Adel.
No, Adel.
We're short
all
of
in.
names.
holy
Okay.
9 kids, bro. You're a legend. What the fuck?
And he's, are you done or are you still going to have more?
No, we're probably done.
Probably.
Never say you're done until
leaving,
you're done.
Still leaving a window.
Never
open
say you're
there.
done.
Oh,
It's like the opposite.
Fuck.
It's like the opposite of genocide what's going on in Mary's house.
No. The economists say
That's
that
the opposite of genocide.
economists say that the only country to have ever mastered the paradigm of procreation, because procreation is a very recent human right, is Israel. Like none of these countries.
Like, we were having fun, dude.
Wait. Just because Israel has a TFR of 3 is top of the OECD index.
See, now what you did is wrong, Jacob.
He's a,
No,
he's
the
a front.
difference is it's a Western country that has a positive.
Yeah,
Like that's what
economists say.
That's what economists say. It's the
Yes.
only wall they have.
Yes, we know that.
You guys trying to advertise Israel. Like, really? Come on. Keep it real. That's not true. Don't advertise Israel.
How would
Any
you
of your
accomplish this
Riri,
much?
Any of your kids' names is Riri?
No.
It's my Isaac. Stuff like that.
No, in Hebrew it's pronounced
Stop
Shikor.
cussing.
No, it's really means in Hebrew.
In Hebrew your name is pronounced Shikor.
Mastula. That's like
Are you taking the piss? No, my
No.
really.
But
It means
you
something
really should.
like
Taking a
that.
piss is different. Taking a piss in British is, are you kidding?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
so impressed.
I
I'm
know,
even
I
more
know.
impressed by Mayor's knowledge
Stop
about
cussing and
everything that
just
he
laugh.
has, despite the fact that he has 9 kids.
Maybe because
What's
he has
wrong
9
with that?
kids,
8
he's running away from home.
Do you think that having kids is an inverse relationship to your knowledge?
Well, I
Well,
can,
in
I can
general,
only imagine how
did you-
difficult it must
Did
be
you ever
to-
see Idiocracy, Mayor? The movie?
What?
The movie Idiocracy actually works on the premise that, and this just doesn't apply to you, just the premise is that dumber people reproduce at a higher rate than smarter people. So Darwinianism works in a negative way, and it takes it out 500 years, and the median IQ of the world is 70.
Oh God.
Yeah, it's a funny-ass movie. It's a kind of a B movie, but the premise is just so amazing.
But in Israel, it's mostly high IQ people who have lots of kids.
What's wrong with having a lot of kids? I don't get it. Like, is it a crime?
Where's
I
Tim?
just want
Tell
one
us
kid.
that
That's
it's
the
the
IQ
IQ
of
of
this guy's
Mongolia.
having 9.
Well,
What
people
the
that have in UK a lot of kids is Irish and as well as Jewish community a lot. UK. So what is wrong with having a lot of kids? There's nothing wrong with that.
No one said there was.
Yeah, good, excellent. So women,
There's a role model. I only got a third of his output.
So how many kids do you have?
I have 3. A third of 9 is 3.
Oh, my actually my siblings, we are 7.
Riri, you don't have kids, right?
No, my mom and my dad.
Thank God.
7 kids.
Oh,
I don't want to
come
have
on,
kids.
son.
I would never have kids. I would never have kids. I don't want to have kids. But my mom and my dad had 7 kids. And their names is weird. We have a different, like, when we come to our community, we have a completely different names. So, yeah, it's nothing wrong with having 8 or 9 kids. It's normal.
Between all my grandparents, there are
Yeah.
41.
How many siblings do you have?
I'm an only child.
That explains it all.
We
Yeah, I
need a
get it.
phrase, Simon, we need a new phrase. Instead of only child, we need something positive, not negative. We need something like focused child or...
Oh, I got you. My family
Oh,
calls me the
Mike.
golden child.
Golden, there you go. It needs to
Yeah,
be
my
something
family calls me
positive.
the golden child. I'm my
You-
grandparents' favorite.
Because there's only you.
Mike, have you
No, 'cause
been
my
watching the
cousins as
convention?
well.
Yeah, I have.
Are you excited about the party you're going to vote for?
Well, I think it's interesting.
It's not Trump.
I definitely feel them channeling a much more upbeat message, and it seems to me that they represent a pro-American feel in a way that the Republican Party typically did in the past. It seems like it's really switched. I see like a generic. I guess how I can explain it is it reminds me of the energy that Obama had at the convention. Their convention feels like the Obama convention did, and I was old enough to remember that pretty well.
What part of it is more American or about the price fixing,
It's not a policy
3
thing.
million, the 3
See, that's the
million
thing.
houses? Hold on, 3 million houses she promised to build in the first year, which
What
is
about
kind of like a stupid number.
Of your neighbor.
The
Hatred.
hold on.
No.
They're allowing Biden
She's so
to
right. She's so
speak
right.
not until 11 p.m. What is more
That was
American
elder
all
abuse.
about?
That was elder abuse.
You don't have to make my thing a prominent thing, but you can at least include it in your list.
Well, because you're interrupting me, so I'm not listening to you. So if you stop talking while I'm speaking, and then you want to chime in, that would be fine.
I want to chime in.
Look, even on the BBC last night, they had an NYU professor give an interview about this thing with the price fixing. Even at NYU is a very liberal university. I took classes there in finance, and to have one of those people say that yes, she's basically doing something like you would see in Venezuela, that is a lot.
I think Issa was talking to Mike.
No, but she
Well, I have that.
price fixing is not American by definition. It's like against the Tocqueville. The Tocqueville said that America.
It's the German in you, or it's just the PhD in you? but you need to just chill and let it flow.
It is confusing for me to hear. I don't know, Mike, if you were being sincere or not, but as I understand it, the current message of the Democrat Party is that Trump is bad and the Republicans are bad, and I don't see how that's an upbeat message.
I also agree. Like, just that is by definition negative. We're saying we are not Trump. We are the alternative. That's all they're saying.
If we're going to talk policy, then I don't have much to comment about. The policies are what they are. Neither side has very recognizable policies. They're both generally poor at communicating that. And I'm convinced that people don't vote for policy much anymore anyway. They vote on a gut instinctive feeling about whether or not they like somebody. And increasingly, I'm convinced it's starting to be that Trump just feels angry and negative like never before. I get that he's always been, but like the personal attacks and things are no longer a strength for him. They're actually a weakness. He can't seem to understand how to communicate without those. He's also not communicating policies either. And so if I'm going to look at I'm not a policy voter. I've never been a policy voter because these guys lie about the policies anyway, and they never back up what they're going to do. They never do what they're going to say. So I don't care about policies. I think it's ridiculous that people listen to policies and then if you go back and you look at what they actually accomplish and what they don't accomplish based on the policies, they almost never line up. So policies just is a hopeful, stupid way to look at it. I think you have to look at it more on I think here's the deal. To be patriotic, you have to see America in a positive light, even when it has flaws. And you have to focus on the good things and not make a big deal about all the negative. But they had Cortez, they had AOC there with a very negative, well, not negative, but a very angry, mean speech toward Trump. So she was able to represent that facet of it. But generally speaking, it feels to me, I feel patriotism in that convention that's completely different than the patriotism that the Republicans kind of didn't represent at their convention. One convention feels sad and tired and old, and the other one feels inspirational and hopeful, and that's where it matches and aligns with the way the convention felt when Obama first spoke before he was known. It was the exact same feeling. So they're channeling a feeling of America that's tired and exhausted with negativity, basically.
Did you get a lobotomy in between two conventions? Because after actually we could see how people were screaming USA and all the USA flags out there, and people were very energized, and it was just amazing. That place was booming, and you actually recognized that it was just wow. And then you said, well, if the Democrats would do at least this, it would be very strange. But now it just seems that you have forgotten about that feeling. And I was watching yesterday DNC, and half of the place was empty. So I don't know how is it that you're getting that energy and you're forgetting about what you actually commented on the RNC.
And you said you're tired of they're tired of the negativity, yet what is the entire venue surrounded by? Protests. They have already infiltrated and gone inside and taken the microphone. So seems like a lot of negativity around.
The protests are not the negativity, it has nothing to do with the party. Protests have to do with this bizarre thing where pro-Palestinians seem to think that the Democrats are anti-Palestinian or anti-Jewish, and or pro-Jewish, I guess. I don't understand it, to be honest with you, because the Republicans are more pro-Jewish than the Democrats are lately, and the Palestinians seem to be angry towards the Democrats. So I don't quite understand it.
What the hell are you talking about?
Yeah, what I'm talking about is I didn't see Palestinian rallies outside the Republican convention. I also think that Trump, with what he did for Israel when he was in charge, I think that Israel likes Trump a lot and thinks that the Democrats in charge, especially Biden, has not been supportive of Israel. because they've been pushing against some of Netanyahu's aggressiveness. And so the Palestinians, I don't understand why they protest at the Democratic convention and at the Republican convention when it seems to me that the Republicans represent a pro-Israel stance more than the Democrats do in the last 6 months.
Because they hate Republicans and they think that all
No,
Republicans
because
are...
they hate America. Get it through your head.
What about the fact that I was speaking?
America.
I was speaking.
You were saying nonsense like a monkey, but
I don't get why that would represent them standing outside the Democratic convention and not the Republican convention either. I don't get why they weren't at both. That's what I don't understand. So the Palestinian, I don't think they know what the fuck they're actually
Because
protesting.
of what I was saying. Now she's on the
Thank
phone.
you, that's the point.
So what I was saying is that they have given up on the Republicans and they think that all Republicans are bad. They think that Republicans are the enemy. So they don't see any point in protesting at a Republican venue because it would be pointless to them.
And they think they align this so-called genocide with Genocide Joe and the Democratic Party, who's now currently supplying arms to Israel. But I want to go back to your policy. You said that neither side, I think you said this, correct me if I'm wrong, neither side messages policy. But last week, it was very clear there were 3 key points of policy initiatives. One, we're going to have price controls to prevent gouging. 2, we're going to give a $6,000 tax credit for each new baby born in the U.S., subject to some, limitations on what it will be. And 3, $25,000 grants to buy new houses. Very inflationary measure. And you have a vice president, and mind you, I'm neither Republican or Democrat, so it's just not me being a Republican smashing on the Democrats. I'm just trying to figure out their message and what they stand for. And you have a vice president candidate who the week before said one person's socialism is another person's neighborliness. Now the last thing I want to do is elect a socialist into power. Tim Walz in the White Guys for Kamala phone call before he was announced as the selection for VP.
And he said those words. And
yes.
Socialist.
One person's socialism is another person's neighborliness. Scares the crap out of me.
Fucking God.
Voting for these people, don't you think if they get in power, they say, well, people sort of like our leaning socialistic ideas like price controls, let's go for them. Like, you say that they don't do what they say they're going to do. But let's take the opposite approach. If they do what they say they're going to do, isn't that going to just destroy the country even worse than if the Republicans come into power? That's my critical point.
One person says that those are inflationary initiatives you're describing, and then another person can very succinctly back up the fact that I'm not an economist, that tariffs are going to be massively inflationary and cost an average American $6,500 more every single year. So both sides can argue the inflationary bullshit, and either side can actually
talking about the socialism
bullshit. The socialism bullshit doesn't. The idea that socialism, the idea that in my mind socialism is an opponent of capitalism, and that capitalism is unrestrained and excessive at this point, to where it's transforming into something that's hurting the middle class and below instead of helping us, and increasingly benefiting the top 1 or 10% exclusively. The fact that capitalism is getting to that point tells me personally that the answer is somewhere between capitalism and socialism. It's the idea. It has to be some kind of wealth redistribution.
Well,
it's communism and socialism and fascism.
If it's scaled from 1 to 10, it's not going 10 down, it's going to 1. You need to stop looking at it that way. If it's a 6 or a 7 right now on the capitalism scale, I'm okay going to a 5 with some socialism pullbaip. I'm okay with that. I don't look at it. You guys are right. That's the fucking problem with everybody. Look at like all or nothing. If you have a rule that redistributes anyway, then you're 100% socialist.
I think you need to take a deep breath.
No.
There is a scale. We already have socialism in terms of Medicare, Medicaid, things like that. Scale.
Well, he's just ranting.
Yeah, I think I should make a shit out of it. You shouldn't be talking over me like anybody else, you fucking asshole, just because you disagree with me. There is a scale. The United States already has some socialism. We have Medicare, we have Medicaid, we have other forms of it, obviously, okay? We have Social Security. These things are socialist policies, okay? So, if we're going to look at that, we're going to say, is America a 10 or a 1? If 10 is capitalism, straightforward, which we don't have, and 1 is socialism, straightforward, which we don't have, then right now America's not a 1 or a 10. It's more like a 7 or an 8, a 7.5 or an 8 in capitalism. I have no problem pulling it back because I'm tired of seeing the middle class shrink and the top 1% get infinitely richer comparatively. I'm tired of it. And I don't care if an economist tells me that it's good for everybody because I don't believe in trickle-down economics at all. I think it's all bullshit.
Okay, so what would you
Mike,
support, Mike?
aren't you falling into the trap of it's based off how you feel and not actual evidence?
I think we have evidence to show that I think there's plenty of evidence to show that the separation of wealth, income between the 1% or the 10% and the majority of the 55% of the remaining is separating at an increasing rate. I think there's plenty of statistics.
Yeah, but that's a feature, not
if you want me to show one, I'll go ahead and show you one. I'll give you one.
No, but I'm saying that's a good thing about capitalism, though. Like I don't really the dollar amount that they actually have, and the disparaging how quickly they can grow, because it just means that the quicker they're growing, the more value they're creating in the economy, the more production there is, and the more people are able to build wealth for themselves.
I was listening to the testimony of this guy that working at Costco during Trump. He's actually a Democrat, and he was talking about how he personally, without taking into consideration anything, the things that he personally felt. And he said, well, with the tax cuts that we received from Trump and also the corporations received from Trump, everybody was saving on taxes. And so Costco, holding I don't know how many thousands of employees, were able to give us a salary increase. And I went from earning $12 an hour to earning $15 an hour. And with that, he already secured $500 in a month of salary increase without coming in from the government, and that is $6,000 a year. And on top of that, he would make another additional $5,000-6,000 just for the tax cuts. So I think that actually people were not wealthier you can tell wealthier, because in the end it's not the amount of dollars you have in your pocket, but what you can afford with those dollars, right? And so right now, people cannot afford anything. I mean, you see Kamala Harris herself talking about how sausages and water and whatever has risen 30%, 50%, which is ridiculous, and they still want to give even more charge to the people through taxes. It's just ridiculous. So even from a pure objective perspective on economics, without thinking Trump or Harris, it just anything that she's saying, she's completely illiterate when it comes to economy and when it comes to a lot of things really, but economy especially, and she's going to drown you guys. I mean, I don't know, this is when I say that I don't understand that people hate Trump. So the love for their country is not stronger than their hate for Trump. And if you have had 4 good years, then by all means, go ahead and vote again, Kamala Harris. But if you have really not found any achievements in the past 4 years, just be sure that you're going to have 4 more of the same thing or worse.
Yeah, from an economic, it's something I studied extensively. The rich don't just park their money; they invest it. They invest in things that create wealth for other people and create wealth for themselves. The disparity that you talk about isn't. It's a zero sum in terms of the total capital, but that capital gets